Hey, I came here to chew bubblegum and demo the next LTS, and I'm all out of chewing gum.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Agent is In. This is episode 54. Today, we are going to take a sneak peek at the next LTS release, 327.0. Herman, can you show us what's new?
I don't know who you're talking to. Herman's
I
not here
said,
right now.
Herman! Oh, I don't know who you are.
Groucho?
Who are you?
You're talking to me?
Oh,
Are you Groucho?
Yes, we can. We can demo some stuff today.
all
Um, Let me share my screen. So today we're gonna take a look at some new features in 327. That will be the next LTS release that's coming up soon. Okay, allow. Sounds fine. All right, can you see the screen?
yes.
Okay, so let's get into it. Feel free to ask questions. There's some kind of functionality for raising your hand or asking questions here. Um, okay, starting with one new feature, the AI agent. Can I remove this? I started new chat, maybe. Okay, so this AI agent, it's clear history, so it's more friendly. Um, this is connected to my Google Gemini account, and it allows you to ask questions about your infrastructure and get answers. So, something simple, show me the Ubuntu hosts. Now it's talking to Google using the Pro model there, and let's see if we get something back. All right. So it shows a table here of Ubuntu machines. I didn't have to write any SQL or click anything special to get this. The way it works is that we send the query here to the AI model and the schema for our database. And then the model figures out what's a good SQL query to find this information. And you can see the SQL query here, which looks reasonable to me. And then this data from the actual database is not shared with the AI model. Um, that means we can ask about the things that are in the database essentially. So give me a table of uptime for the hosts. You see here the information about which model I'm using. All right, so it managed to do that. It also gets the context of your previous queries. So usually it will include some of the similar things that you've already asked about. Yeah, uptime 12 minutes and 4 minutes. Started them just before the show here. All right, what are some other
So, what
examples?
kind of information from the schema is available?
So by default, we share the default schema, so like variables, classes, inventory attributes that are in CFEngine out of the box. And then there is also an option to share your custom defined inventory attributes. but that would still be just the names of them, and then the actual values, the actual data is still not sent to the AI unless you physically like copy paste it and send it to the AI. Yeah. Can we see ports listening as well? There might be a third host popping up here because I asked for 3 hosts earlier, but looks like maybe the last one is not ready yet. All right, so it looks like that's working nicely. As you can see, I've been kind of adding columns here for each prompt because it is aware of that context. And now if I want to keep this for later, I can save it as a report. So new host overview. Let's make it public. Admin is fine. So now there's a link here to the report.
So you could also ask what updates a system has available, but could you also ask it to tell you if any of those updates have vulnerabilities, or is the model not going to be able to access that information?
It should, in general, at least for now, focus on the things that are in our database. And so we don't have CVE information in the CFEngine database.
So you would have to ask for software updates and then copy paste that data back to the model. Is that right?
You would use something that cross-references software versions with the CVEs.
Okay.
That's Yeah, it could, an AI could maybe do it for a limited set of hosts like this, but in general, probably you'd want something that can process a lot. Like if you have thousands of hosts,
Yeah.
there's software for that.
Great.
Yeah. Okay, and as I mentioned earlier, there are settings here, so you can connect different models. And there's also, as I said, you can allow it to access your custom schema so that you can get results that are not just of the out of the box inventory, but also the inventory that you have made. All right.
Cool.
Moving on from that, this LTS release will also have some things that were in these interim releases that are we call them feature releases or non-LTS releases. So one thing is the audit log here. So this will, for the first time, be in an LTS. As you can see here, the audit log gives us information that's kind of security relevant or relevant if you're trying to go back and figure out what happened at some point. In this case, it's a brand new hub, so there's not much, but you can see I made myself an admin user when I set it up, and then I have edited the AI settings. That's the only change I've made here. And you see the details of that. Obviously not the API key there. We don't want to log that.
Herman, I
Yeah.
noticed that you created your own user.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Yeah.
How do you create your own user?
Yeah, so I did this before the meeting, but essentially I can maybe share the terminal here. When you set up Mission Portal for the first time now, you go through what's called first time setup. So terminal share. So it looks like this. Do you see the terminal right here?
Yes.
Yeah. So I spawned and installed this with CF Remote in AWS. And it says here, CFEngine Mission Portal first time setup. Navigate to Mission Portal in your browser and then enter this setup code. And so when you open the hub, it will prompt you for this setup code, and you don't get a default admin user, but you create your own admin user. So in my case, I used my username, and so on this system, the only admin user is my user with my name and password.
Awesome.
That's a nice security improvement there. For those of you who are upgrading, you will keep the users that you have. We're not gonna do something breaking there. But whenever you set up a new hub, you will be seeing this stuff. Okay, just to show that, we can see here, user management. You see, this is now the admin user that I'm using.
Hmm.
Okay. Was there anything more you wanted to see here in Mission Portal, Nick?
Well, I hear that there were some changes to CMDB UI and search. I
Mhm.
think maybe some of those have already landed in old releases.
Yeah. So if we, what's what are my hosts called in this case? It should be EC2 something? No. Let's see. I don't have many hosts set up here, but
IP.
IP something, that's how AWS does it. Yeah. So when you search for something now, you get these nice new search results. And if they look similar or even identical because you have duplicate host names, you now have this tooltip to help you distinguish them. So you can look at, for example, IP addresses are often unique, or maybe the timestamps as well will give you an idea of which one you're actually looking for. Is it the one from today or is it the one from a month ago, for example? So this new search menu is new.
Awesome.
And the data, which Nick mentioned, so the UI here is a bit revised. So when you want to assign data to a host, we've supported this for quite a while, but the way you do it is a bit different now. So if you want to make an inventory attribute, let's say something very common is that you want to assign a responsible person. I'm going to pretend Nick is responsible. Um, and the you see the result of that is that there is actually a variable created, even though I primarily wanted the inventory attribute, but the way that that's implemented is that there are variables. And so you can see here, this is the JSON data that ends up getting sent to the host. So this host now has a owner and the value is Nick there. The experience is similar for other things. Variable is probably the closest to what we did now. So you can set policy variables here. You can choose the type, you can add tags, set the value, and have some comment or description. Class. You all probably know about classes. If you want to say that this is a production host maybe. And then maybe that's enough. So now this one is set, and you can see here it's set in the data that ends up on the host as well. The last category here is what we used to call suggestions. So that's some simple things that you can do, like enabling autorun. Some people like to use autorun. And so when you click this, that's saved as a configuration here. And you see the thing that actually ends up on the host is a class called default services autorun.
Cool.
All right, and that's since we have group data as well, that's similar there. So not gonna go through it again, but it's the same update here. In terms of how it works on the hosts and in policy language, it's exactly the same as before.
So that's pretty nice. Some features in Mission Portal. Do we have anything for people like me?
What are people like you, Nick?
You know, we like to write policy.
So let's try to jump into that. Okay, let's open up an editor here and we can take a look at that. So what do we want to look at first, Nick?
Well, what's your favorite?
So we have a list of new functions. Let me check my notes. We have get groups. We have oh, find local groups, get group info, get groups. Those are some good ones. So if we go to the docs for that, to keep figuring out what to share here. So this function is new. Get groups. So get groups is a new function, returns a list of all the groups defined. You can exclude names and IDs. So we can put that in our policy. There we go. So this should get us groups, but exclude root. And then for good measure, let's print it. The reports promise, so groups. Okay, that should be good. And let's see if we can get this going. So the demo bundle, that's correct. And then let's see if we can build it. Okay, and deploy it. Uh-oh, permission denied. That's lame, but let's get around that. Okay, hopefully that's good enough. CF. All right, so that's working, it looks like. There's a lot of groups here. So let's go to next example. Group
So that's
info.
all the groups, including groups from directories, right? Like external directory.
Yes, I think so. It's what is returned by the C API, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have get group info, similar to get user info. You specify a name, and then you get some data from that. So here, the example is root. So that's GID 0.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, it's printing the name and the GID. Maybe we can get that running here as well.
But I'll wait till you're done here. But keep going, or maybe I won't wait till
Oh,
you're done.
yeah, go ahead.
So there's also a new function that only targets local groups, right? Or at least on Unix systems. Find
Is
local
there?
group.
Um, local, find local group, this
Yeah.
one? Yeah,
Yeah.
so you see, history says this one is coming as well. So yeah, if you want to get those that are not returned from the directory, see we have this one here, and an example, you can filter by name, and then, yeah, very similar to what we're showing here, but you get this data structure of groups out.
Okay.
Yeah. What's the nicest way here? Format?
Store
Store
JSON.
JSON. Yep.
Store JSON.
I just did it myself on my Raspberry Pi 4. I was following along with your demo.
Group
It works great.
info. So store JSON just takes a data container by name. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this should be right. And let's go through this again. So deploy. Let's see if we still don't have access to this. I don't know what's
You
going
have to
on with
build
this.
again?
Hmm?
Don't you have to build again?
Yeah. I was just wondering about the access there. Seems like something is different on Ubuntu 25. But it doesn't allow you to move what we want, or RM maybe. But we can do CF remote sudo hub, and then what did we want? RM, RF, var, CFEngine, master files, move, home, Ubuntu, master files, to/var, something like that. Cannot move, even as sudo ostensibly. So that
like
sounds like that's related to the
Linux.
issue. CF remote, connect. Okay, did we actually delete it? Was that allowed? Yeah,
That
was allowed. So it's just the move that is failing for some reason.
Oh,
I don't know why. I don't know why
That's weird.
Access works the way it works.
there you
All
go.
right. So that works too. Get group info.
Yeah.
Gives us the data container with information about this group. Maybe the other ones we can just look at in the documentation. So we have
right?
find local groups. We looked at, that's the filter and returns a data container. Then we have get group info. That's the one we used in policy that gives you a data container. You specify the name, get groups. That allows you to exclude or include, and that also includes the ones from the directory. And any more groups related ones?
I don't think so.
No.
The class filter data, which we talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
And
So we can show that really quickly. So class filter data allows you to take a data container, filter it based on the class expressions here, and then you get the filtered result. It helps a lot with data-driven policy. And then we have get ACLs. So ACLs are sometimes used on Linux, and you can specify the path here and then get these access control lists for a given file or path. That makes it a bit easier to use those in policy.
And there's is connectable and is nearer than time.
Connectable. Yeah, that's a convenient way to check if a port is connectable, a port is open, and something is listening. Specify the hostname, port, and some timeout. Then this function in the example here tries to connect to localhost port 22, timeout of 30 seconds, and then you get a class based on that. What was the next thing you said, Nick?
is newer than time.
Is newer than time. Yeah, so the background here is that there is newer than, which compares files. So whether this file is newer than this file, and then we have now is newer than time, which you take a file and then check if it's newer than some timestamp.
So that's fun for functions. Any other big changes coming?
We have a few. We have some small things, which are some new variables. And then we have some bigger things, like the biggest one is probably eval order. So I'll show an example here. So you can now control the evaluation order of CFEngine policy. The option for that is naturally evaluation order. And the new way is top down, which means when you're doing this, you can do reports, start bundle demo, and at the end, we could do here done bundle demo.
I think you'll need
So-
a different promise type.
What?
This is going to work the same way in the reporting. So I think you'll need to use like a command
Oh,
in
well,
between.
I see what you're saying. So if we do files promise /temp foo create true, maybe some quotes there. So the idea here is that now the ordering of this bundle will be to do this first, and then this, and then these, and then this in the end. So we should be able to see that the start message comes first, and then we create the file, and then the end or done message comes last here.
Maybe delete some of the groups output since it's so long.
We can do that.
I just have a question about this new function. So I see that you can do, like, you can specify top down, so it'll read it from the top of the promise to the bottom.
Yeah.
Can you specify evaluation order manually, like say like classes, comma, files, comma?
No, but effectively you can do that in the
By just doing
bundle.
it top down.
Yeah.
No, it was more a question, like, just because, for example, one of the things that I was trying to write was a Zenity message, and I had to have like action A happen before action B before action C. But because of the normal ordering, I had to get very interesting with how I wrote the promise to get it to kind of evaluate properly. So either way, like, that would probably still work, but it was more of a curiosity, like, can you specify an order, or does it just have to be like, top down or normal?
No, for now it's top down, or the default is what we've called normal ordering.
Yeah.
What we've called it here to try to not make it more confusing is classic. So it's top down or classic.
Okay. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I was just curious.
It's an interesting request. I'm wondering if it would make things even more complicated for for some people if everyone's specifying custom orderings.
I can imagine it would make it more complicated to support for you guys, for sure.
Yeah. So one big reason for doing this is that it's very common that especially new users who learn to write policy find it confusing how things are happening in a different order than what they would expect.
Yeah,
And
I kind of learned programming-ish stuff starting with CFEngine, actually, because this is technically my first like program type job.
All right. Even though I have to do these manual steps to get it running, we can still hopefully get there. All right, and then connect, sudo move. Yeah.
I think you built and deployed.
I did, but
Oh, okay.
let's try again. Deploy.
Oh, I know the problem.
I don't
The
know.
problem is you have two body common controls in your policy set. You can't just do this for this file. And there's already a body agent control as well.
Okay, but we can still get around that. That's not
You can just run it
too bad.
directly. Run the file straight,
So,
Yeah.
our CFEngine. You know where this file is? Bundle main, we don't want to do that.
You can fix
So-
that easy. -B.
-B demo, yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. Look at that. So
It's still got the groups data there, the groups output.
go look at the
Oh, there.
scroll up and you'll see the start, which is weird because reports usually happen late.
I don't think that. I don't. It doesn't look like your policy that you were reading is the policy that ran.
I know. Example. So they are the same.
Those files
What's-
that you diffed are the same,
Yeah.
right? Inputs
So
and master files.
what do you do when all else fails?
Yeah.
You open
You join
Nano.
the small web.
That is the worst editor.
That's the best
It's a
one.
nice editor. It's a nice editor. It's even got little cues about what to type to do things. Just as long as you know what caret means.
There we go. So that was a long way to show this demo, but starting bundle, created file, done bundle. So beyond just being easier to read, it can also be useful for this kind of logging or timing things, because you really know that this one will happen before all of the files and stuff in between.
Yeah, we've definitely seen policy before that uses all the different tools and attributes and things in order to do things first and then second and then third. So it's nice to have another option.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a lot of new stuff to play with, Herman.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you have anything else to show us?
Not particularly. We've been through a lot, but there is a new sys variable policy version and policy release ID that give you a way to check or track in policy which version of policy you're running. Yeah.
Any other questions from the attendees?
And we can talk about other things after we're done with the official part of the session.
Yeah.
And move into the unstructured portion, unrecorded.
Yeah.
Special bonus for those of you not watching on the on the YouTubes, the internets,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah. Hang out afterwards for some chit chat if you have any other questions. Otherwise, thanks for coming, and we'll see you next time for episode 55.